Hello again, and welcome to another edition of DoubleYourGains.com, how to build muscle, burn fat, and get the body you want fast. Okay, in my last video I talked about why aerobics basically sucks for fat loss. So today I'm going to tell you how you can get ripped. You do want to get ripped, right? So today I'm going to tell you what really works and what works fast. It's really simple too, only two words. Here they are: interval training. Interval training is better for your health. Interval training is usually defined as hard, all-out intervals like sprinting, followed by brief, less intense intervals like jogging. Work periods and rest periods vary depending on the protocol, but that's the idea. You got it? Intervals. Now the name makes sense. Now you should know why intervals are the best thing for your health. The famous Tabata study, number 1. Researchers found that guys who used this routine 5 days a week for 6 weeks improved their maximum aerobic capacity, a measure of your body's ability to consume oxygen. The more oxygen you can take in, the longer and harder you'll be able to run, by 14%. What's more, it also improved anaerobic capacity, which measures your speed endurance or the duration you're able to sprint at full effort, by 28%. Basically, you get better all-around results from intervals versus steady-state aerobics. Reason number 2, interval training can lower your blood pressure by up to 40%. To put it into your blood sugar by 40%. To put it into perspective, the commonly prescribed drug metformin does so by a paltry 19%, while putting users at risk of obesity, even if they can tolerate the constant vomiting and diarrhea. Reason number 3, interval training makes your heart and lungs stronger, not just bigger. Marathon runners kill over after marathons. Look it up on Google if you don't believe me. Even though their heart and lungs get enlarged, they get bigger. This is because their hearts don't actually get stronger, they're more stressed. Sprinters get stronger hearts. Sprinting is better for you. Interval training also mimics life and is more functional endurance training. You ever picked up a heavy box for a slow, steady state over 60 minutes? Hell no, you'd have to pick up a heavy box quick. Change a tire, chase a kid down, snatch him up and yell at him for running down the street. Everything you do in your everyday life is anaerobic, not aerobic. So interval training is more functional as well. Another reason is sprinting increases testosterone while aerobics lowers it. Although not a well-designed study, Journal of Sports Sciences, Volume 23, Issue 2, February 2005, pages 187 and 188. Here they compare testosterone levels among different groups of males: sprint-trained, endurance-trained, and sedentary individuals. Since this data is a cross-section, it does not establish cause and effect. In other words, it's possible that men with low testosterone self-select into endurance running, and men with high testosterone self-select into sprint running. But this data is very suggestive that sprint training may increase in testosterone in men. But logic plays a part here too, since we know that staying in the gym longer than 45 to 60 minutes depletes T levels. It makes sense that long, steady states aerobics would do the same. Sprinting also increases human growth hormones, speaking of hormones like testosterone. In a new study, researchers compared growth hormone levels in several ways: resting, after a 6-second cycle sprint, and after a 30-second cycle sprint. And the 6-second sprint method did move human growth hormones some, but didn't come close to the body's potential to release this powerful hormone. The 30-second all-out effort sprint experiment increased HGH by 530% over resting baseline and 450% over the lesser intensity sprint. A summary of this study can be seen at the National Institutes of Health. Also, interval training is the key to fast weight loss. It's not just good for you, but it's going to make it easier for you to lose weight. Besides being vastly superior for your health, interval training burns more fat than steady-state aerobics too. In fact, in the Tabata protocol that I mentioned before, the Japanese scientists discovered that the people following the Tabata protocol burned 9 times more fat than the group that exercised for an hour a day. 9 times more fat. And your metabolism stays revved up and burns more fat for up to 48 hours after the Tabata protocol. So, a simple 12-minute program to lose weight fast. I'll give you one here, based on the Tabata protocol. Basically, you pick an exercise. I like sprints, but you can do jumping rope or cycling on a bicycle machine, etc. And you have intervals, which are sprints. Those are your hard periods where you go hard, followed by work intervals, and then those are followed by rest intervals, which would be like jogging. So you do sprints and jogging for your work and your rest periods, okay? And then basically you start out with, like a 3-minute warm-up, and then just to get started, if you've never done it before, you do about 1 minute of pretty hard intensity, like 60%, to where you're starting to it's kind of difficult for you, but not an all-out effort because you're just getting used to it, and then slow down for a minute and do just jogging, right? And jogging is a comfortable pace where you could talk if you had to during it, and then you speed back up for another minute and just do that as many times as it takes to get to 10 minutes. And then the next week you're gonna increase your intensity of your work interval, right? So you're running at about like 80% of your full out maximum effort, but you're going to decrease how long you run for, right? So maybe you're only running, instead of a minute, you're running 45 seconds, okay? And you just do that for the first 12 weeks, and then by the end of the 12 weeks, you'll be working up to what I normally do now, which is I do like a full out 1 minute sprint. After I do like a couple minutes of warm up, then I do a full out 1 minute sprint, and then a full out 1 minute recovery of jogging, then a full out 1 minute sprint as hard as I can, then a full minute recovery. I do that about 3 to 4 times, and then I just end with a little bit of walking to cool down. And that's vastly superior to aerobic exercise for burning fat, and it's also really, really good for your cardiovascular system and your heart. So there you have it. If you want to burn more fat in less time, then make sure you do high intensity interval training. For more free information like this, free reports, free information, go to doubleyourgains.com and sign up to get your free reports.